Krishna. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Prabhu.
Thank you. So let us begin with a short kirtans, okay? Mridanga? Mridanga? Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. कृष्ण महामंत्र की ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So last week I had to rush for a meeting. I'm sorry. I could not be with all of you last week, and we are actually starting the third chapter. I heard that one of my colleagues, Vikram Gauranga Prabhu, who did, he told me only a couple of slides he finished. I'll show you the slideshow, and we can take it ahead now today. Wherever he left from there, we will take it. It's a very important chapter. It is the third chapter, teaches us how to act in a detached spirit. And in whatever position you are put in this world, you may be an engineer, you may be a doctor, you may be a chartered accountant, you may be a lawyer, whoever you are, in whatever situation you be. Now Krishna doesn't say you have to give up your activities and become a monk and follow me. Like that. He doesn't say, because Arjuna himself was a warrior. And Krishna told him, you don't have to give up your position as a warrior. Be a warrior, but fight for me. Fight for my cause, Krishna said. In the same manner, Krishna consciousness is all about learning the art of connecting our work to Krishna. Krishna says, Sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. Abandon all varieties of religions and surrender to me. So somebody may say, oh, I have already started a factory, I'm running a big factory. Do you say that I have to close down the factory now and become a monk and just join you? Then Krishna says, no, you continue whatever work you are doing, but offer your fruits of your action to me. So how to do that? That will be taught in this chapter very nicely, in the third chapter, which we are just now entering now. So he began with this. He told me that the summary he told, and then he went to this. This he finished. He told me up to this. I will proceed ahead further ones. These are the things he did. Let us go from here. Arjuna uvacha jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tat kim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi keshava. Here Arjuna is telling Krishna, Krishna, why are you engaging me in this ghastly battle? You actually, you on one hand you told me about Sthita Prajna, self-realized soul and all that, and now you want me to engage in the battle. So here if you see in the, please can you read the right side box down? There's one box. Can you please read it? One of you?
There is no rejection of anything, but dovetailing everything. That is the process. Do everything, but in Krishna consciousness. If you're a fighter, fight, but for Krishna. If you're a businessman, all right, do business for Krishna. If you're something else, do that, but for Krishna. This is wanted. This is called Krishna consciousness, to dovetail everything with
Krishna. Yeah.
with Krishna.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So, in this slide, a very important point Prabhupada explains. Krishna consciousness is not inertia. Inertia means inertness or inactivity. Please read that. Some examples are given there.
Example, as a warrior, householder, everyone can sacrifice everything for Krishna. That is the goal of life. But those who withdraw from active service to Krishna consider spiritual life to be inactivity. Such a misunderstanding often withdraws one to a secluded place. Without being trained in the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, it is not advisable to chant the holy name of Krishna in a secluded place for cheap popularity. One may acquire only cheap adoration from the innocent public. Bhagavad Saptah on Ras Leela, making a profession by singing holy name.
Okay, let us say something about this inactivity that people resort to in the name of spiritual life. Oftentimes, people think that spiritual life means you have to give up everything of the world and become a monk and then go to some Himalayas or sit in some remote place. And because they think that if you live in the world and act in the world, you get karma. And the karma will perpetuate your repeated birth and death in this world. So they say that these activities are dangerous in this world. We get entangled when we are living in the world. So let us leave all the activity and let us go and go to some seclusion in the forest, they think. That's one category of people. Then there are others, even in the line of devotional service, some people, they give up the normal course of activities in society and they go to some holy place like Vrindavan or Dwaraka and they sit and do meditation and they want to become cheap sadhus. They want to win the public, attention of the public. People say that, oh, the sadhu is very great. He's just sitting and chanting in the dham. So those sadhus don't do any activities. Sometimes they even say, I am following Mauna Vrata or vow of silence. And so they want to become popular in the lives of people who will come and give them donation. And some of them are doing 7-day Bhagavad Saptaha, they call it, where they narrate some leelas like Ras Leela of Krishna, Krishna's dance with the gopis. Such things they propagate for winning the millionaires who may arrange that Saptaha with spending lakhs of rupees. Some people do that. And then they also do, they also give up their job, give up their profession, and then in the name of being monks, they are just money making. That's what Prabhupada is saying. The goal of life is not to give up one's profession and resort to inactivity. So, which is what is normally thought by many people. The life of, if somebody has to be a spiritualist, that means spiritualist stops all activity. They think like that. Therefore, they have these three monkeys, don't see bad, don't hear bad, don't, speak bad and all that. So, but that is not what Lord Krishna is speaking in the Bhagavad Gita. He is not talking about inactivity. Even myself now, say I am a monk. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. At night I sleep at 9. So morning 3 to night 9, our life is busy with activities. We are printing and publishing books and distributing. We are speaking lectures like this. We are preparing PowerPoints. And we are doing puja for the deities. We are going out and doing Harinam Sankirtan. Even as a monk, our life is fully busy with activities. We are living in the heart of the city. We are not going to Himalayas. So this is what Krishna wants. He says, whatever profession you adopt, you may be a married man, you may be a monk, you may be a woman, you may be a man, you may be a school-going boy, or you may be a business professional, whatever you are. You should align, 3 things are important. Acceptance of God, alignment with God, acting for the pleasure of God. Acceptance of God is, there is a supreme intelligence that is governing the whole creation. He's a supreme person, Lord Krishna. We call him Lord Krishna, you call him Yahweh, or you call him Allah. Whatever you call him, there is one supreme being who has created this world, who has put us here, and he is providing us all facilities, our eatables, our living place, everything. That's the first acceptance of God. Then secondly, alignment with God means he has given us some law codes on how we should live in our life and what we should do, what we should not do. And those who abide by those laws are called divine. And those who don't align with God's laws are called demoniac. That's what makes the divine and demoniac difference between the two. In the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, you will hear about divine and demoniac. Krishna speaks about that elaborately. So, first thing is to accept that such a supreme person exists and we are all his children. And we are all living beings all over the world, not only human beings, even animals, birds, insects, everybody is a child of God. And we all have one common father. That's the first understanding. And the second understanding is, he has given us law codes in various books, for Bhagavad Gita, for example, Quran or Bible or Guru Granth Sahib. You may see some little differences in these books, but essentially there are many things which are common in all these books. They all accept God, they all accept surrender to God, service to God, loving God, not committing sin, not disobeying God, not injuring other God's creatures, and loving everyone like a brother and sister, and trying to always wish welfare for other living beings, and always act in a way that will please God. So these are all common in all the scriptures. Therefore, that is the second thing, alignment with God. And the third is acting for the pleasure of God, means that you will learn in this chapter. How are we going, what are the things we should do to act for His pleasure? Like for example, the whole world is created with all facilities. Accept only your quota and don't encroach on whatever quota God has given to others. Like a child is given one toy, another child is given another toy. But the child should not snatch the toys of all other children and say that I will possess all the toys, you other children get lost. That mentality is called greed, we call it. So one should not encroach on the quota that is allotted by God for different people. You accept your quota. That's one of the examples of pleasing God. God becomes pleased with you if you accept your quota and don't encroach on others' quota. In the same manner, not only that, you should also sanctify whatever is allotted to you. When you pick up the thing that is given by God, you should thank Him. Oh God, you are so kind. You have given us grains to eat, vegetables to eat. You have given us, fresh, pure, sweet drinking water to drink through the rain clouds. You have given us so many facilities. So with gratitude, saying a thanks to Him, when you accept, then everything becomes sanctified. So in this way, similarly, you are doing a job. You should do the job honestly, and one should not cheat. One should not resort to any kind of malpractice. Correct, no? So that is, in this way, these are the three things: acceptance of God, alignment with God, acting for the pleasure of God. So acting for the pleasure of God will be more tangibly taught in this chapter. We are going ahead. So now Prabhupada is first saying that spiritual life is not inertia. Like Buddhists, for example, Buddhism teaches you that you should keep silence, because if you speak, you get entangled. Now, when you talk to other people, you get implicated by karma. So you keep yourself aloof. Similarly, reduce your eating, reduce your sleeping, reduce your talking, and go to your recluse and do meditation. So try to meditate on the nirvana. So it's more of nullifying everything in this world and going to a zero, state of zero. So, but Prabhupada explains here, spiritual life is not about that. Spiritual life is about activity, but the activity which does not entangle you. The activity which will not implicate you. And these are activities which are, sanctioned by God. And the activities that are sanctioned by Him. Like right now you are seeing Arjuna is fighting a battle against Kauravas. So it's killing. So killing means sin. But because this killing is done for a righteous war, Dharma Yuddha, and ordered by God, so Arjuna will not be implicated by the sinful reactions, because he is acting on behalf of the Lord and the order of God. Just like I told you in some of the classes before, a cashier is collecting money from somebody, he is allotting money to somebody, but he will not be implicated because he is acting on behalf of the bank. A soldier is acting on behalf of the country, so he will be given an award when he goes to the battle and kills many people and comes. But on his own account, if he kills somebody, he will be put behind the bars. Similarly, we have to learn the art of doing everything in God's account. That secret you are going to learn in this chapter. That is called Karma Yoga. How to do everything in God's account with His sanction and permission, and in this way keep ourselves aloof and not get entangled in this world. That's the main thing in this chapter. And spiritual life is not about inactivity. That's what he's saying in this first slide. Let us proceed further. Yamishreneva vakyena buddham mohayasiva me tadekam vada nishchitya yena shreyohamapniyam. He's telling, my dear Krishna, I am bewildered now by what you are speaking. You told me that, tell me one thing, Krishna. Do you want me to sit and meditate like a sthita prajna, like a self-realized man, or you want me to fight the battle like a warrior? I am confused, he's saying, because in second chapter, Krishna spoke about a self-realized person. Huh? Do you want me to meditate, or you want me to fight the battle? Actually, Arjuna is unnecessarily confused. Actually, what is Krishna's plan is, you be a self-realized person in your heart, but with your hands and legs you perform your duty. That's what Krishna is teaching in this chapter. Externally you do the activity, internally you are doing with full awareness. That is what makes your work divine. For example, 3 masons were building a temple. So I went and asked the first one, what are you doing? First mason said, I'm just putting the bricks and I'm making a wall, don't you see? He said. Second mason, I asked him, what are you doing? He said, I think I'm building a hall or something, I'm not sure. Whatever my boss has told me, I'm doing it, I'm building a hall, he said. Third mason, I asked him, what are you doing? He said, sir, I am so blessed in my life. This is the first time I got a chance to make a temple. I am putting the bricks to build a temple. Very soon this project will be over and the temple will be opened, he said. So it is in Pune where we made the temple. Now when I saw these 3 masons, who has complete awareness out of the 3? First one, second one, or the third one?
The third one.
Third one has full awareness. He knows he is building a temple of God. So therefore his awareness is divine. The first and second fellows, they are not knowing what they are doing. Similarly, in your life, you can perform all activities in a divine mode by full awareness, which you will get as you proceed in this chapter. It will become more and more clearer for you. Yeah. So Krishna explained about jnana, he explained about, many things Krishna said in the previous chapter, so he's confused. Lokesmin vividha nishta pura prokta maya nagha jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. He says, Krishna says, there are 2 paths, Arjun. One is the path of jnana, one is the path of karma. And both are same, he says. Now look at this slideshow. Look at this flow chart. Sankhya Yoga means analytical study of elements like earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego. Study about the material elements and how the soul is different. Study about spirit, study about matter, and then people who like to speculate, they do experimental knowledge of the philosophy, they do all these things. And then ultimate goal is purpose is to establish relationship with Krishna. They gradually come to understand that I am not the body, I am the soul. And that the goal of life, ultimate goal is to know sambandha between self and Lord Krishna. This is one type, through the path of jnana, or it's called Sankhya Yoga or analytical study, okay? It's a gradual process. Little by little the senses get purified. It takes many lifetimes also to know the difference between matter, spirit and all that. Then there's another path I'm going to show you below now. See here? Karma Yoga, Nishkama Karma Yoga, Buddhi Yoga. If you do this, then you can do your activities. You don't have to give up activity. But that activity is all in Krishna conscious activity you do. Then you are also released from bondage of action. Then you also depend on Krishna. And then in this way, you realize the relationship between self, soul and Krishna very easily. So there are 2 paths. One is Sankhya Yoga path, one is Karma Yoga path. And Krishna is telling both are same only. In Sankhya Yoga path, they analytically understand spirit matter difference and then they come to the same conclusion, Krishna is master, I am servant. In Karma Yoga, you don't give up all the activity and do speculation. Instead, you do the work and offer the fruits of your work to Krishna and then you get the same understanding, like that he says. Please read it, one of you. Yeah. What Prabhupada is saying?
Yeah, Prabhupada says. Yes, karma means action, fruitive action. Everyone is working in this world to get some result. Somebody is working in business, earning millions of dollars yearly. Why he is earning?
He is earning for his sense gratification. As soon as he has got money, he changes his car, he changes his apartment, changes his standard of life, only for increasing. The whole world is working so hard, and the result is that increasing their objects of sense gratification. This is called karma.
Ah, you see, as soon as one gets bigger salary, he changes his car, goes for a bigger car, he goes for a bigger apartment, he goes for a more costlier dress and costly food. That means when people use their fruits for their own enjoyment. Instead, if one is offering the fruits for Krishna service, that is called karma yoga. Yoga means you connect to God. Read it. Yeah,
Karma means to enjoy the result of your activity. And when it is karma yoga, that means the activities, which is your occupation, you can engage yourself in that activity. But don't engage the result of your sense gratification.
don't
But
engage yourself for your own sense gratification. Yeah,
your
correct.
own sense gratification, but for satisfaction of Krishna. That is called karma yoga.
Correct. So, is this point clear to you? That means basically the fruits are used by the living beings for their own enjoyment, but we should use it for Lord's enjoyment, he's saying. So now we see the two paths here, Sankhya Yoga path and Krishna conscious path. Sankhya Yoga is an indirect path, is direct path. Here you depend on your own endeavor, there you depend on Krishna's mercy. Here you are unsure of success because what is soul, what is body, analytically you understand. There you hear the words of Krishna and you accept. Initial purification required by prescribed duty. Here ends and means are same. Actually, the left side path is a gradual path, Sankhya Yoga. And Bhakti Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, it's a very quick path because you take guidance of the Lord and you follow. This is Karma Yoga. Okay. Both yogas are interdependent as religion and philosophy. Like Bhakti Yoga is more about religion and you are doing activity. Whereas in Sankhya Yoga, it's more about philosophy. You analytically try to understand what is matter, what is spirit, and all that. And then read it. Religion without philosophy is sentiment.
Where?
Yes, first line.
Yeah.
Both yogas are interdependent.
Both the yogas are interdependent as religion and philosophy. Religion without philosophy is sentiment or sometimes fanaticism, while philosophy without religion is mental speculation.
Yeah. Like for example, say you are studying science. Morning the teacher comes and teaches you theory. And afternoon you go to the lab and you do practical. So which is important? The theory in the morning you study is important, or afternoon you go to the lab and do practical, that's important. Yes?
Both are important.
Both are important. Because if you study only theory, you have only bookish knowledge. Or if you are doing only practical, you are doing practical lab activity without any knowledge of the subject. So the morning you learn the subject, afternoon you do the lab. Similarly, Sankhya Yoga teaches you analytically how to understand soul, body, God and all these things. Understand it theory. Then Bhakti Yoga teaches you, okay, now I understood Krishna is God, I am his servant, now I have to bow down to him. I chant his holy names, I fold my palms, I worship him, I bow down to him, I eat only food that is offered to him. Those are all practical. So Krishna told Arjuna, see, don't worry Arjun, not that these are two different paths, they are only one path. Ultimately both of them are leading to the same goal, like that Krishna is telling you. One is theory, one is practical. Examples are given. Sanaka is one of the four Kumaras. He attained purification through jnana. And Janaka and Priyavrata, Janaka Maharaj and Priyavrata, they attained purification through Karma Yoga. So examples are given here. Karma is also yoga. Since by that karma a person is joined with purification of heart, which gives rise to jnana. In Nishkama Karma Yoga also when you do, eventually you come to jnana very easily. As it says. Please read it. Ultimate goal.
The ultimate goal is Krishna because the philosophers who are also sincerely searching after the absolute truth come in the end to Krishna consciousness. This is also stated in the Bhagavad Gita. The whole process is to understand the real position of the self in relation to the super self. The indirect process is philosophical speculation by which gradually one may come to the point of Krishna consciousness, and the other process is directly connecting everything with Krishna in Krishna consciousness. Of these two, the path of Krishna consciousness is better because it does not depend on purifying the senses by a philosophical process. Krishna consciousness is itself the purifying process, and by the direct method of devotional service, it is simultaneously easy and sublime.
Yeah. Like what the jnanis do, I'll tell you. First the jnanis look in the mirror and say, am I this body? No. This body gets old and it perishes. I am not the body. Am I the mind? No. Mind is also changing always. Mind is in a flux. Then who am I? Then they understand that, oh, there is something which is spirit, which is different from my body and mind. I am the spirit. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. Like that they try to meditate. So, I am the Sat, I am not Asat. Body is Asat, but I am Sat. So they try to gradually realize. It takes a long time to come in this type of realization. And oftentimes they commit the misunderstanding that I am different from the body, I am spirit soul, and I am only God. They think like that. They think the soul to be God. Soul is not God. Yes, I am pure consciousness, that's correct. But I am not God. See, how can we think we are God? Are we controlling the sun and moon? Are we controlling the stars and the wind? Are we making the rain shower come from the sky? Are we making the crops grow, the fruits fructify, the flowers blossom? Are we the creators of the material world? How ridiculous it is to think I am God. Madbhayat vativatoyam suryastapati madbhayat varshati indro dahatyagnir mrityuscharati madbhayat. Lord is telling in the Vedic literatures that by my order the sun is rising in the morning. By my order the wind is blowing. By my order the Lord of showers, Indra, is bringing forth rain shower. By my order the death is taking its toll. By my order the time is passing in this world, or the fire is burning. He says everything is done by him. Without the Lord's order, not even a blade of grass can move. So how can we say, I am God? How ridiculous it is. That is because of speculation. The impersonalists or jnanis, they speculate. Slowly they understand, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am the soul. And I think the soul is so pure. I am pure consciousness. Maybe I am only God, they think. We are not God, we are a part of God. We are a child of God. Or we can say, I am God, apostrophe S. We can say, we are gods. We are not God, we are not the ultimate God. So, in Bhakti Yoga, that is directly taught to us. You are not the body, you are the spirit soul, and you are a servant of God, and you are connected to Him in love. He is His father, and you are child. So that becomes very easy for us to understand in Bhakti Yoga. And when you do the practice, chanting the holy name, bowing down to God, offering food to Him and accepting, then your life becomes very sublime and pure. Then this realization becomes very easy for you. Otherwise, the jnani speculate, it takes long time. For example, somebody wants to know, where is your nose? I show you, this is the nose. They say, how can the answer be so simple? I'll figure out myself what the nose is. Then he says, is this my nose? No, this is my ear. Then I say, is this my nose? No, it's my shika. Is this the nose? No, this is also another ear. Then they take many lifetimes. At last they say, now this is the nose, I found out. So they find out the nose with great difficulty after many lifetimes. Whereas in the path of bhakti, we don't resort to speculation. We ask the Guru and Guru Parampara. Whatever he teaches, you accept. It's called Avarohan Panth. It's descending down. Knowledge is coming from Krishna to Brahma, Brahma to Narada, Narada to Vyasa. It's coming down. We accept the descending knowledge. Whereas the jnanis, they don't accept descending knowledge. They say that we will figure out and we will find. Just like scientists. Scientists say that we will find out. Like therefore, 1903, Jagadish Chandra Bose found that plants have life. Only just 120 years ago. Otherwise, before that, none of the scientists world knew that plants have life. They thought plants have no life at all. Why? Because it's not moving. I am walking, plant is not walking, so I have life, plants have no life. That's their understanding. But Vedas said plants have life millions of years ago. Millions and millions of Chara and Achara both are mentioned. So that's the beauty of the Vedas. If you accept the Vedas, your time is saved and it is safe and the knowledge is perfect and it is a proven wisdom. It has stood the test of time. Therefore, we accept the knowledge in descending wisdom. So that's what he's saying. The indirect process of philosophical speculation, it takes its gradual process. It's like the difference between going by staircase and going by lift. Which one would you prefer? Say you have to go to a 100-story building. You have to go to the 100th floor. Would you go by lift or would you go by staircase? If you go by staircase, then Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, you come many lifetimes it takes. But if you take to Bhakti Yoga, it's like boarding the lift. You board the lift and you press the button and then zoom, it just takes you to the 100th floor. Straight. So, therefore, Bhakti Yoga doesn't mean sentimental following or blind following. In Bhakti Yoga also, we don't accept blindly anything. You can ask questions, you can seek explanations for whatever truths are presented. Definitely, that freedom is given. Lord Krishna clearly says that. Even Arjuna is asking questions to Krishna, and Krishna is answering them also. But the beauty of Bhakti Yoga is you hear the descending knowledge coming in parampara without speculating. That's the main difference. The jnanis, they speculate. They try to figure out themselves. And oftentimes they commit mistakes by that. Na karmana manarambhan naishkarmyam purushoshnute nacha sanyasana deva siddhim samadhigacchati. Krishna is telling, if you don't do the work, one cannot attain perfection. Simply by giving up everything of the world and sitting idly, you cannot get perfection. Can you please read this, please? One of you. Krishna answers the first question. Why not avoid action altogether?
Yeah. His Highness Vishvesh Swami Maharaj of Madhava, but by the negative approach of forsaking action, one does not get liberation. It is only by a positive approach of performing all action enjoined on him, but desirelessly, that one can get release from his cycle of birth and death. One should not embrace the life of a mendicant just to run away from action. He should do it with a positive view to meditating on God and leading a holy life.
Yeah, see the beautiful picture here. This is Lord Krishna in Vrindavan. Now, Vrindavan is a beautiful place. You can see there are swans in the Yamuna, the beautiful lotuses and lilies. And everybody is a devotee of Krishna there. And Krishna plays on his flute, the cows and the calves and the deers and the peacocks and the swans, and even Yamuna, even the trees and the shrubs, all of them are his devotees. So, everybody is engaged in devotion service. The wind is blowing to give him pleasure. The plants, the flower-bearing plants are offering flowers. The trees are offering fruits. Cuckoos are cooing. Peacocks are dancing. Everybody wants to serve him. So that is a positive approach of performing action. But desirelessly. What is desirelessly performing action? I will not do activity for my sense gratification, but for Krishna's pleasure. That is the main difference. So do it with a positive view to meditate on God and leading a whole, that's a holy life. Doing for the pleasure of God, acting for Krishna's pleasure. Yeah, read the highlighted portion according to
the empirical philosophers, simply by adopting sannyas or retiring from fruitive activities, one at once becomes as good as Narayana. But Lord Krishna does not approve this principle. Without purification of heart, sannyas is simply a disturbance to the social order. On the other hand, if someone takes to the transcendental service of the Lord, even without discharging his prescribed duties, whatever he may be able to advance in the cause is accepted by the Lord. Buddhi Yoga.
Even a slight performance of such a principle enables one to overcome great difficulties. So what is the meaning of this, I'll tell you. Even if one is not discharging prescribed duties. Say, for example, somebody, somebody is doing a job. He is working in a company and making money. And he is maintaining a family and he is just eating, sleeping, running his life without any God consciousness. Such a person at the time of death, he doesn't know where is he going. Huh? He is not a devotee of God. Nowadays, 90% of the population of the world, if you see, they work hard to study. You ask them, why are you studying? To earn a degree. Why do you want a degree? To fetch a job. Why do you want a job? So that I can get money. Why do you want money? To fill up my belly. Okay, but you want a lot of money for that? For filling a belly? Oh, then eat, drink and be merry. Or maintain my relatives. And then that's what they do job for. And then when they get older and older, they watch movies, they play games, they go to see SL World, Disney World, they move around here and there. And then they spend away the time. Then they become 60, 70, even at the age of 80, they're playing golf. They are spending the time on checkers, something they are playing. Suddenly one day they die. So where will the soul go? Depending on what type of consciousness with which they have lived. Somebody may go to a body of a dog also, or the body of a cat, or they may get body of a human being again. But they are simply rotting in this world, moving again and again in this world. But what Lord Krishna says is, right from the time you know Gita, you should make a conscious endeavor to offer all your activities to God and do activities in relation to Him. For example, I will make it very easy for you to understand this point. Right from the time you rise in the morning till you go to bed at night, you have to see every one of your action in relation to whether it is allowed by Krishna, is sanctioned by Krishna, is it sanctified by Krishna, or is it, am I doing it in a regulated way? Sometime before, in one of the previous classes, I told you about this, if you remember, kota, correct no? Like vegetarian food is sanctioned by Krishna. And when you offer it to Krishna, then you get prasadam, that is also sanctified. And you eat it in a moderate proportion. Like that, what you are eating every day, that become, you are eating prasad. No? Similarly, when you are reading books, is this book elevating me or degrading me? You will always think, if you are a devotee, is this making me come closer to Krishna, or is it polluting my mind and dragging me down? You are opening your computer in the company and Wi-Fi comes immediately. Now what am I going to do with Wi-Fi? I can destroy my character and good behavior by Wi-Fi, watching dirty things in the computer. Or I can use a computer for the company's job, or I can use it for reading a valuable book like Gita or something, a e-book or something. So the same thing like a knife can be used by a surgeon to save someone, and the same knife can be used by a thief to kill someone, you see. So in the same manner, everything that you do from the morning to night, you can connect it to Krishna, and that way become purified and go back to Godhead. Or you can do it for your own sense gratification, do some nonsense, and then we get again stuck in the material world in one more body again. Because if I do materialistic activity, I will get one more material body. And if I make my activities divine, then I get a divine spiritual body. Then I go back to the eternal spiritual world. And that is the sum and substance of this karma yoga. That means you don't have to give up things. You want to marry, you can marry, but marry religiously. How? A man is allowed to choose a wife with the blessing of the parents and everything, and then you get married, and then husband and wife together practice devotion service. There is no difference whether you are a celibate monk or you are a married couple practicing Krishna consciousness. Either way, you can go back to Godhead. But if a man is doing adultery, he is roaming around with different women at different times, then how is he different from a dog? Isn't it? Yeah. In India, there are many street dogs. They roam with one dog today and another dog tomorrow. They don't have any proper marriage or any system. They can wander with anybody they want and sleep with anybody. So in the same manner, a man who eats any damn thing, he can eat goat, he can eat chicken, he can kill any animal or bird. As long as my taste buds are satisfied, I can kill anything. That is not sanctioned by God. So if somebody is eating that which is not sanctioned, somebody is living with a woman which is not sanctioned. Somebody may say, in our country, we can live in together with any woman we want. The leaders who make such laws, along with the people who follow the leaders' bogus laws, both will go to hell. Because the Shastras say, you are not allowed to live with a woman like that. Ideally speaking, one has to take full responsibility. For example, in India, if somebody is marrying, the father, raises the girl from the childhood to the marriageable age. Then he hands over the girl to the boy in marriage. And the boy takes responsibility for the wife. They together, beget children and raise the children, then the family is a happy family, stable family. Not that I live with somebody for 3 months and another 6 months I live with somebody. What kind of life is that? So therefore, Krishna says from morning to night, check whether your activities tally with Krishna. He is sanctioning it. So sanctioned, sanctified, and regulated. Every activity you should put on this criteria and check. Then you are doing karma yoga. Then your life is perfect. It's not very difficult. All you need to know, learn the Gita and apply it in your life will be perfect. Yeah. Naigashikshanamapi jatu tishtatya karmakrit kadyate kshapasak karma sarva prakriti jair gunair. Nobody can be inactive in this world, Arjun. Not even for a moment. Everybody wants to act. The soul by nature is very active. Is active. And the soul is here. You see the picture of the soul here. And then he's active in nature. He needs engagement. And then there are two types of engagements. You see the picture. On the left side, Krishna conscious engagements. Here on the right side, we have shown occupation dictated by Maya Shakti. So you can do activities in Maya or you can do activities in Krishna. Like you see the in contact with material nature of the soul, what he does, he acquires modes of material nature. On the other hand, prescribed duties are recommended in Shastra. If you follow, then it purifies the soul and then it leads to Krishna consciousness. See in the right side, you see the man, the boy is sitting. He is apparently doing meditation. But in his mind, what is he thinking? He is doing cheers and drinking liquor. He is doing some ballroom dance or something and eating all kinds of stuff. So in this way, we can be dictated by Maya Shakti, illusory energy. Or our activities can be dictated by Krishna. So both types of, the soul is active. He has to be active either way. In Krishna consciousness or Maya consciousness. Karmendriyani samyamya yaste manasa smara indriyarthan vimodhatma mityachara sa uchyate. Externally, if someone controls his senses, but in the mind, he is meditating on dirty things like what is shown here. He is simply a mithyachari, he says. Here you see some monks also smoke cigarettes like this. Therefore, Prabhupada writes, you read the purport points, yeah? Sri Prabhupada purport, please read it.
Yeah. Refuse to work in Krishna consciousness, make a show of meditation, may also speak on dry philosophy in order to bluff sophisticated followers. They are the greatest teachers. Their mind is impure. Actually dwell within the mind upon sense enjoyment, no value of knowledge, because effects of such a sinful man's knowledge are taken away by the illusory energy of the Lord.
Yeah, so there are people who claim to be monks, but they are smoking, drinking like this. So they don't get much benefit by the knowledge they cultivate. That's why he's saying, on the other hand, he says, in contrast, that if one performs karma yoga without attachment, just prindriyani manasa niyam yarabate arjuna karmendriyahi karma yogam asaktasya vishishyate. Here you are seeing this lady, she is making a garland for the Lord. And there are many ladies sitting down, you can see, they are all devotees of Krishna. They are all making garland. So they are using their senses, they are not denying their senses. Like a person sitting in the forest in Himalayas alone. They are engaging the senses, but they are engaging the senses in Lord's service. So they are purifying their life. Yeah. See here, the flow chart you see. The pretender, the greatest cheater, shows to be in deep meditation, but his mind dwells on sense objects. His philosophy has no value. And his knowledge is stolen by Maya Shakti. Below you see, for sense enjoyment, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprasanyas. So if they follow the rules and regulations and orders of the Lord, they gradually get purified. And a sincere person, he controls his mind and senses, engages in Krishna. Excuse me. And that is far superior. So there are two things you can do. Either withdraw the senses and go to meditation in Himalayas, or engage your senses and offer the fruits to Krishna. That is karma yoga. Clear now? It makes it more and more clear. Yeah. Sunit, go ahead, tell me.
In the last slide where you says that it's like when we are doing something and our mind is wandering, The problem is real for everyone, I guess, because the thing is that when I start chanting in the morning, I
Yeah.
think I'm only doing 2 rounds, but I try to increase it to 4 rounds. But every Ekadashi I'm getting stuck with something and I'm not able to increase it. But in the morning when I chant Hare Krishna name, two rounds on beats, I feel that half of the time my mind is wandering in my activities. What
In
has been,
what speed you chant? Tell me your speed. How do
yeah,
you
it's
chant?
slowly, like it takes like 8 to 10 minutes for 1 round.
See, you should chant swiftly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the mind will not get chance to move here and there. But if you chant a bit slowly, Hare Krishna, then mind gets into plan making mode. Huh? Mind thinks, today, daytime I will do this, next week I will do
Yeah,
that, no, next month I will do that. And you think about the past,
yeah,
worries, and the future
yes.
fear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct. Absolutely correct. This is what happens while chanting. So
we should
I have to
not.
increase the speed a little bit, right?
You have to increase the speed, you can do it faster. Prabhupada says, chant swiftly, he says. And then he says, chant audibly. Because if you don't chant audibly, then the lips will stop. When the lips stop chanting, mind starts wandering.
Okay.
So chant audibly. If mind is wandering, loudly chant, Hare Krishna, chant, then mind will come back.
So
Yeah.
I think till now it was a kind of cheating I was doing to God.
No. See, you are not cheating by going to Himalayas and keeping quiet. You are actually engaging in chanting. You are like a toddler child is gradually getting up on the ground and trying to walk. So you are on the right path. You are just trying to walk properly, and eventually you will be able to walk properly. It's possible for us to withdraw the mind from running here and there, racing. Best is early morning hours. Huh?
Yeah, I do it early in the morning.
Yeah. Actually, early morning mind is like a clean slate. It's not very filled up. In the daytime, you do a lot of activities. But one thing is, you should know that just like, for example, when you're eating, you have to think about the food, what I'm eating, and chew it well, and then send it inside. Don't gulp the food. Huh? Or while eating the food, don't watch TV. Or don't talk on phone. Because if you're talking on phone, you will swallow the food, isn't it?
Yeah,
Similarly, while eating food, you should meditatively eat, slowly you should eat. And you should also think this food is given by God. Thanks to Krishna for supplying me this nice prasad, you think like this. Similarly, when you're sleeping at night, just lie down and think the whole world is sleeping. Why should I be awake? There are twinkling stars in the sky, there is moon in the sky, it's dark now. Whole world is sleeping. Let me go to sleep peacefully. So sleep while you sleep. Eat while you eat. Chant while you chant. Do the job when you do the job. Study while you study. Play while you play. Do one thing at a time. Huh? So during chanting, when the mind is going, ask the mind, hey, where are you going? This is not your office work time. This is not a planning time. This is a time to connect with God. Huh? You are supposed to see, mind has 3 avenues: thinking, feeling, willing. One should actually think, uh, what should we think? Oh Krishna, please purify me. I am a sinful person. Please purify me. Elevate me, accept me. One should think like this. And what should one feel? We should feel that, my dear Krishna, you are so kind. You have sent me your devotees, you have sent me your books, you have sent me prasadam, you have sent me temples, you have sent holy rivers. You are enveloping me with so much mercy. But I am so ungrateful that I am ignoring you, neglecting you, and turning my back to you. Huh? So please, kindly don't reject me, accept me, let me come to you. So we should feel like this. Huh? And the willingness should be used in counting the japa beads properly. Huh? With a sense of touch like this. So in this way, we should tell ourselves before beginning chanting, this is time for me to do japa, chanting, and attentively chant. You can do one thing, Sunit, you can go to my website. I'll just show you here. So you can go to this www.radheshamdas.com. You can go to this, and there in the search you put japa talks, you put like this in the search, and you will get more than 1,000 japa talks you will get. These japa talks are only 3 minutes only. They are.
Yeah, I'm in that group also. I joined like last week. Your Japa talks, I receive that every day.
Is it?
That group, yeah,
Okay.
I'm there in that group.
Do you find it helpful if you hear one japa talk before this thing?
Yeah. I do it. But the only thing is, sir, at the time of concentrating for this meditation and chanting, it's really very difficult. My mind is like wandering because initially means when I started it was good, but with passage of time, it got used to it, and then it started
But
playing.
every day the japa talk I speak different things. When you hear the japa talk, meditate on the meaning, then we have an experience that immediately mind concentrates well, at least at that time. And
Yeah.
in case your mind is too much wandering, if you are sitting and chanting, you can walk and chant also.
Oh, okay.
But don't
Yes.
walk too long distance. Keep a short, like 10 feet or 15 feet only. Brisk
Yeah.
walking, like walk back and forth like this and you chant. Pace
Okay.
and don't look around. Put your eyes down, and then walk and chant. That is also possible. In case one is feeling sleepy, one can walk and chant. But one is not feeling sleepy, one can sit. But mind shouldn't wander. We should capture the mind. Krishna says, Yato yato nischalati manas chanchalam astiram tatasato niyam yaitat atmani eva vasham nayat. And mind wanders, bring it back and focus. Again, mind wanders, bring it back. By doing repeatedly, gradually you gain victory in this exercise over a period of time.
Okay, just one last question. Like, should I focus on increasing the number of beats, or should I continue with 2 beats, 2 rounds till I
2 rounds
get
is good. For the time being, 2 rounds is good. You keep doing it and do it in about 15 minutes, 2 rounds.
Okay.
And in that speed, and then when you are very stable, when you get some amount of success in that, then you will be inspired to increase more. So, in this way, the third chapter, the same point is saying here. And then niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajjahyo hyakarmanah sharira yatra pitache vichate na prasiddhyeda karmanah. See the picture. There are 4 people here. Brahmana is speaking philosophy, and Kshatriya is fighting the battle. Vaishya is the farmer, Krishi Goraksha Vanijam, protecting cows and tilling the land. And then there is the trading is doing Vaishya, and the Shudra is assisting the previous 3 classes. Everybody in this world has to do some work, and that work should be offered to God. Fruits of the work should be offered to God, and that way you can attain perfection. So we have almost finished this important things. So this next time we will see this 3.9, very important verse. See, I am not elaborating it now. 3.9 will be seeing prosperity by pleasing the Lord and not by our smart plans. So that we will see. So can any one of you tell me a one-line summary of what you learned today? Only one main theme I have been emphasizing today. Any of you? Yes,
Everything we do.
Yeah, Joshi,
Yes,
tell me.
so yes, everything we do, every action, everything, it should be Krishna consciousness.
Correct, very good. And we should know how to connect it. Yeah. And we should know the art of connecting everything to Krishna. That's true. From the morning to night, every day we do. We can connect our profession, roots of our profession to Krishna. So, if you remember, I can also, now also I can put it again in case any of you didn't get it. Just 1 minute, I'll just, I got it here. I'll just put it in the chat. One interesting file. This will make it very easy for you to check. It's a small, only 1-page file only. See, quota not to be exceeded in spiritual life. Can you copy it, all of you? You can copy it and keep it with you. Quota not to be exceeded in spiritual life, yeah. So if you see this, it gives you a clear picture on how to connect everything to God. That will be very helpful. So that's the main thing what Jit Joshi said. We should act in relationship. So 3 things anybody remembers how to connect our activities to God in this world when we are taking the things of the world. 3 things I said. Anybody remembers? Sunit and Jit Joshi have spoken. Anyone else would like to speak? Any of you? Yeah?
acceptance of God, alignment with God, and all
Acting.
thinking and acting in pleasure with God's pleasure.
Ah, wonderful. Again, amazing. Amazing. You remembered all the three. Acceptance of God, aligning with God, acting for the pleasure of God. Very good. Wonderful. Yeah. So that was one thing I said, and I also said sanctioned by God, sanctioned, sanctified, and regulated. Sanctioned, sanctified, and regulated. So if you follow this simple formula, we would be so happy even in this world. And we can actually be as happy as when we are in spiritual world. We can be happy even here. So thank you all very much. Next week I'll continue the next session. And this chapter is very interesting. The session which is coming now is a very interesting section. Because we are going to learn practically on how do we connect everything to God. Today you learned the fact that you have to connect. Next week you will learn how to connect. You will learn more clearly. Okay? Yeah. So Jaya Krishna has given you the link. Link the driver, all the PPTs and materials. You can copy this link and keep with you. Okay? So he has put a link. And also, Jaya Krishna, you can give if some of them who have come newly, they can register with you so that they can join your WhatsApp group. You can put that link also, you can put it.
Sure, Prabhu. Yeah, I'll do that.
So thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.